So this is my new project car. It's a 2004 Porsche Cayenne, which I picked up cheaply as a non-runner. And in this series of videos, we're going to see what it takes to get this through an MOT and back on the road. But first up, we'll just do a bit of a walk around, a visual inspection. So you can see it comes with these 22-inch alloys, which are rather large. And yeah, the brakes have seen better days. I believe this thing was sitting around for about 2 years before I came along. So yeah, brakes are probably going to need some work. But otherwise, the bodywork seems quite straight, no signs of any accidents. But we do come round to the back wheel here and we can see the first sign of damage where it looks like it was curbed and has caused the wheel to get damaged as well as the tyre being deflated. I've also noticed there's a slight problem with the window in that, yeah, that's going to need to be fixed. Otherwise, I might end up having this thing getting nicked or ending up like a swimming pool. Now, if we come around to here, we can see another problem with the other front tyre. A similar issue where the alloy is basically knackered, so I'm going to need to get some new wheels. So under the hood, we have the 3.2 V6. And the good thing about this particular car is that it comes with LPG, so hopefully it won't break the bank every time I need to fill up. So first up, what we're going to do is remove this cover and try and get some power on this thing using my jump leads. So let's go ahead and do that and have a look inside. Right, so I got the door open, and the next thing to do is to try and get to the battery, which is located here under the passenger seat. So what you have to do is loosen some bolts, and then the passenger seat lifts up like so, and then you can get access to the battery. Now these bolts are a bit of a nightmare to get off, mainly because I didn't have the right socket for them, so that's something I'm going to need to buy because I made a bit of a mess trying to remove them. But other than that, the interior doesn't look too bad. You see it comes with the black leather, and it seems to have held up quite well over the years. So if we go and have a look around the back, you can see more plastic covers that are concealing the battery, and yeah, it all seems pretty complete, including the rather unusual ski bag that they seem to include with these. So yeah, if we lift up the boot, which is not an easy job on these, I think these struts are going to need replacing. But as you can see here, we've got some of the gubbins that comes with it. And lifting this up, we can see the LPG tank. And yeah, also the complementary oil, which is now empty. So yeah, it's not much use. And if we come over to this side, we can see it has a CD multi-changer now. Let's see if there are any CDs inside. And have they left us any? No. Okay. Right. So yeah, we'll just put that back and I'll continue having a look around. Right. So we'll have a look at the other side and we can see that looks all right, and it comes with the original mats. And yes, there's some nice greenery there as well, which we're going to have to deal with. And finally, we come to the driver's side. So you can see here the seats held up pretty well for 150,000 miles. But yeah, there's some rather unusual growth on the steering wheel, so I'm going to have to decontaminate that first before I attempt to go anywhere near this thing. So I'm going to have to do that first. Right, so let's see if we can actually get this thing to start. So yeah, switch the ignition on. Got some warnings about the air suspension and the seat belts, but I'll probably ignore those for now. So I'll put my foot on the brake pedal and see if this thing will crank. No, it doesn't. All pressure too low. That's not good. Okay, let's get the code scanner on here and see what it says. Right, so with a code scanner hooked up, which plugs in basically under here by the accelerator pedal, we can see if we got some errors. And if we scroll down here, we can see that it has found one fault. So if we go into the menus and read the codes, we can see that we have a problem with the camshaft position sensor B circuit low. So yeah, we'll have to go and investigate that. Sounds like it's possibly a problem with the sensors. So right, yeah, it's time to now have a look at the engine and start doing some further investigation. Right, so I've started taking the covers off from around the engine, which is just a case of just unclipping them. And when I got to the scuttle panel, I discovered this, which is quite a lot of crap that seems to have accumulated in it, along with a load of water, which makes me suspicious that the drain holes are blocked. As you can see here on the computer side, it's not looking much better. So what I think I'm going to do first is come down here and remove the wheel arch liners and see if the drain holes are blocked, and do that first. So with the wheel arch liner removed, we can see the drain hole, and I've already prodded it and it's dripping. So let's see what happens when we take the plug out. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Right, and you can see how much dirt and mud has accumulated in the wheel arch over the years. And this is probably a classic example of why you need to do this quite regular on the car, because the amount of crap that builds up and will just start rotting the inside of the wheel arch. So yeah, I'm going to continue clearing this out, and then probably going to get the jet wash on this to give it a thorough clean, and see what sort of damage this has caused to the bodywork. Right, so we can see the corrosion that's happened here on the inside of the wheel arch caused by all that dirt. So hopefully that's just surface rust, and we can probably clean most of that up and hasn't completely destroyed the body. But the rest of the wheel arch is looking okay. Can't see any obvious signs of any major rust or damage, which is nice. So yeah, we'll leave this plug removed so that it can drain out properly and get onto the other side. Right, so it's a similar story on this side. It's full of crap as well that we're going to have to clean up. On the positive side, the brakes and the suspension seem okay, as it's the side that had the knock. So yeah, let's remove this plug and see what horrors are hiding under here. Okay, that's strange. It's not a ton of water coming out, but there do seem to be a fair amount of leaks. So I'm going to grab the old screwdriver and see if we can get out whatever's in there. Okay. Have to do some more prodding, I think. Do that off camera. So yeah, we come into the inner arch as well, and similar story. About 20 years of crap that has accumulated in here that's going to need to be cleaned up. And hopefully it hasn't caused a massive rust hole that it's going to cause me more aggro to get rid of. Nice. Right, so I just gave everything a quick blast with a hose now that the drain holes are cleared, and I think that's going to be it for this video. In the next episode, we're going to try and see if we can get this engine started. So yeah, thanks for watching, and hopefully see you next time.